What's up, family? It's your boy Gus here from Triumph School of Cannabis. I want to give my boy shout out Mike from Dro TV. Thank you for having me. Had a great time. Family, go ahead and like, subscribe. You know what you guys got to do. Appreciate it, fam. Look them up, Dro TV.
Welcome back to My First Time, the show where our guests get to tell their story of the first time they got high on marijuana. And today I'd like to welcome our guest, Gus from the Triumph School of Cannabis. What's happening?
How you doing, Mike? Thank you for having us, brother. How's it going?
I'm doing well. Thank you for partaking early in the episode. We love that. You can find more of the Triumph School of Cannabis. They're all over the place. So we're just going to have the link down below to their link tree, and you can go follow them on your favorite platform. So Gus, thanks again for coming on the show today. Let everybody know where you're located and a little bit about the Triumph School of Cannabis.
Sure, absolutely, brother. First of all, thank you for having me, having us at your show. Appreciate it. Been following you guys. I know you guys out on the East Coast, up in the Florida area. We're actually out on the West Coast on the opposite side here in the San Fernando Valley, which is about 30, 40 minutes away from downtown LA.
Nice.
So we've been out here pretty much my whole life. I've lived out here my whole life. And we started Triumph School of Cannabis to help educate, train, and help people become, sorry about that, help people become successful in the cannabis business, right? So we teach hands-on training, live lecture. You actually go to a dispensary if you could do the bud tender programs. We have different programs, and we just want to be the first vocational school for cannabis. So that's kind of what we do.
That's awesome. I was definitely looking at your website and a lot of the information that you guys provide. Is it completely online?
Yeah, so what it is, it's two sections, two parts. The first section is the actual online live lecture instruction.
Okay.
So you have an actual instructor teaching you live lecture. You can ask questions. He or she is helping you out, guiding you, coaching you through the classes. Usually a weekend program, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then the following week or whenever your schedule allows you to, we actually do hands-on training. So you go do an internship. If you're doing our fundamentals of bud tending program, then you'll go ahead and do that at an actual licensed dispensary. If you're doing our extraction program, then we go ahead and send you to a licensed extraction company and you go work with them. You learn that process. So that's a cool part about our school. It's hands-on. It isn't just the lecture. It isn't just the videos. It isn't just the testing. That's the basics. But how most of us learn is by actual doing. And that's what we bring into the game is not only the education part, but the hands-on approach. And what happens, it helps out actual dispensaries and other companies as well, because they actually get to pick the choices that they want to, like, let's say you're in our class and they like how you are, how you work, where they're going to offer you that position because they know who you are. We're working you for a few hours now, they get who you are. And so that's the whole point of it. It's not only learning it, but also getting you hired. And that's what we help out as well.
Awesome. I love it. I definitely want to get more into it, but the show is my first time, Gus. So
Yes,
please,
sir.
let's get into it. Tell us about the
Let's
first time you got high.
Man, first time I got high was many, many moons ago, brother. I was a young lad. I was 13, 14 at the time. Once again, I'm here from the city of Pacoima, and my parents were very like kind of strict for Pacoima rules, and I was a dare kid, right? I'm never gonna do drugs,
Sure.
and but I started to go hanging out with my buddies. My parents sent me out now. Yeah, go hang out. Had a curfew, right? And so in my Hispanic culture, my Mexican culture, there was back in the day it was called quebraditas, right? So you put your hat on, you put your best gear, your boots, and you're out there dancing, right? Music, Mexican music. So I love that environment, right? So I was there for the dancing. I was like, let me enjoy the time, meet some ladies, have a good time. And then my buddy's like, hey, you ever smoke? I go, no, I don't do cigarettes. He's like, no, no, man, you ever smoke weed? I go, weed? Ah, man, I don't fuck with that shit. I'm good. He's like, no, dude, you gotta smoke. And I'm like, nah, man. So of course, all the homies to come on, dude, we're all smoking, you gotta smoke. And I said, all right. So they break out this little sack, right? And it's all like compressed Mexican old school stress. I'm talking about you had to take all the seeds out. It was old
Yeah.
school, right? And I'm like, okay. So I see that stuff, and then like I thought we were gonna, I see people smoking, right? So I'm looking for a paper or something. Nah, they look for a Bud Light can. We're drinking Bud Lights. They get a Bud Light can. They go the old school method, man. You know, I was intrigued of them making this pipe out of a can, right? So they poke the holes, and, you know. I'm like, what are we doing? I thought I was doing crack. At one point, I was like, are we smoking crack? Like, is this really weed? You know? And you know, sure enough, hey, you know, you got to go first. You know, got to break you in. I was like, well, how do you do this? Man, I inhaled nothing but aluminum the first time I hit that thing. It was horrible, but it got me high.
Okay.
Right, I got me high. You know, it turned. It went one turn. By the time it went round two, I was like, "Whoa, what am I feeling here?" Everything was euphoric. Everything was mellow. Everything was chill. The music was louder. Everybody's having a good time. I'm laughing, smiling. I'm like, "This is it. What is this thing called again?" And ever since then, brother, I was smoking, and I smoked for many years all through junior high, high school. Then I graduated and joined the Marine Corps, and I had to stop. You know, we
Yeah.
had to stop. You know, we had to stop. I joined the Corps, and I had to stop for many years. And then I got out, and life passed. And my wife had a slip and fall accident. Unfortunately, she got into opioids, and it wasn't a good thing. It wasn't good for us. And I introduced her to cannabis, and herself too. Their kid, no, no, no. Like, if you're okay with popping these freaking pills, you can be okay with smoking this plant. All right. So we found different ways for her to ingest it, edible, so on and so forth. And now she's a big advocate of it. She supports the school. Now my in-laws, they use it for sleep. So cannabis now has really changed our life. And that's what we want to teach people and educate them that it's not bad. It's a plant. And it helps us out and it feels good. There's nothing wrong with it. As long as we educate people and train them and show them that they could get jobs and legit jobs and make a living out of it, that's when the stigma's gonna get out. You know, so that's why I started the school. That's why we're very proud of what we do, and we hope to continue growing. Hopefully, you'll see us, you know, up in the Florida area one day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be great. Um, what you smoking on right now, Gus?
So this is a little bit of a sativa from a local company called Humo, which means smoke. And they have this brand called Gelatina, which means gelatin. So it's a very nice, tastes really delicious. That's the big thing here now in LA. I don't know out there in Florida, but here in LA right now, the Mexican culture, the Mexican weed, the names, the Dia de los Muertos, that type of theme is very big right now. Very big out here right now. So that's why, you know, I connected with this company and hey, they have some good fire, man. I recommend it. I don't know if they're out there yet, but you know, how's it out there? Is the Mexican like theme big over there in Florida? Because I know it's just kind of getting to get started legally over there.
Yeah, I know the Mexican culture is much bigger in Southern California than out here. But I was when I first moved down here, was doing some construction, and we had a Mexican crew working with us, and they called it La Mota. Is that still
That's it.
okay? All
That's it.
right,
We still call it Mota. That's right. As a
okay,
matter of fact, my Instagram handle is Motanomics. That's yeah. So
okay,
yeah,
all right,
that's exactly it, bro. Yeah, we still call it Mota. That's the old school name, brother. You
all
know,
right,
it's never
nice.
gonna go away, brother.
I don't think the Mexican influence is as prominent down here yet. Anyway,
Gotcha. Yeah, it's something to look into. I mean, you know, I know people always looking what's the new thing was out there. Right now here it's big. So maybe something Puerto Rican, Cuban, more of that type of descent. You know, if there's anybody out there that's looking to do some type of marketing type of idea, that's what's big out here. And I know the East Coast is very different. So maybe considering something like that, somebody else's culture, just representing that. And it's been really, really big out here right now. It's a big movement out here in the LA, Southern California.
nice. Well, hablo español un poquito, so I gotta learn a little bit more Spanish. But
There you go, bro. So whenever you come down here.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Now I love the vocational aspect of the school where there is the hands-on. So, how did you guys connect with dispensaries and get them to agree to allow some of your students to come in and work with them hands-on?
You know, I I was surprised at how open the dispensaries were to the concept, and I got to learn the fact that the reason why is because we're now helping them reduce the turnaround on
Mm,
their bud tenders. That was one of the biggest things is that there was a misconception of what a bud tender is. People think you're gonna sit, lounge around, smoke weed, do bong rips, maybe do some dabs, sell a little weed, and then go back to it. No, you're on your feet 8, 10 hours a day, customer service at its finest. You got to know your medicines from terps to that, CBD, Delta 8, all this stuff you have to know because from the most expert consumer to the novice is going to go into your store and you have to know how to cater to those people. So a lot of these bud tenders didn't understand that. So they go in there, work for 1 or 2 months, and they leave. And then they have to rehire, so on and so forth. So what we do is we actually talk about customer service in our education. We even go through vocabulary. What's an eighth? 3.5. We go through all the basics, all the fundamentals, all the way to learning what a bud tender does. We talk about customer service, what to expect, so on and so forth. And where it comes, the best part about it is the vocational part, the hands-on part. When you go and actual do it, because now you're gonna learn what a POS system is. Now you're gonna learn the pressure. You got 10 people waiting for you. So now it's very different, but you're still learning, right? And the dispensary gets to see, I like that guy, I don't like that guy. Maybe we could work with him, we cannot work with him. And so what happens, they see it as help. It works for us. We get to see the real them if it's going to work out for our dispensary. And then usually they do because they see, okay, this person has potential. We could work with him, or yeah, I love him or her. Let's hire him here. If not, they also recommendation. You know what, Gus? Talk to my buddy at the other shop. I know they're hiring right now. Let me get you over there. And who's not gonna want somebody that's already been trained, has a certification, has some hours already under their belt without them having. And then we also send them through the vetting process. So they have to be 21 or over. They have to have no felonies under the belt. We do a background check. So by the time they get to dispensaries, they're already well trained, well versed, and they understand what's going on. So it helps the dispensary not lose that potential income, right? So the turnaround time is what we've helped out a lot. So yeah, they've been very, very open on that.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that aspect of the school because virtual learning nowadays, as great as it is, I say YouTube University, you can go on YouTube and learn anything you want. It's still limited as far as if this guy put this video out this way or he didn't, it doesn't have the hands-on person-in-person feel to it. So I like that you've added that in there.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like everything else. We've been through training, right? When we get hired, you go through, you watch the videos, but when you hit the floor, it's very, very different, right? And that's kind of what we want them to understand. Hey, before you invest more time and effort into this career, make sure it's for you. Get trained. Make sure you're going to do it. Invest in yourself a little bit, right? Make sure it's going to make sense. And when it does, then that opens up the doors because now you like it. And one thing is smoking it, one thing is having a passion for it as a party or whatever. But if you want to be in this business, it's a hustle, and you have to like it other than the feeling. You have to like what it helps to do with others and how others get they can take advantage of it and get it well and all those good properties that it comes with it. That's what you have to have behind it to become successful in this business. People think if they smoke it and you like it, that's it. I could do this. No, it's more than that, you know. And through education, I think it's the number one thing. Educate yourself, educate the people, you know, learn some more about it, and then you'll be knowledgeable, and then you'll know this is for me. Let's run with it because it is a billion-dollar industry. You know, we need marketers, we need, you know, and brand ambassadors, we need CEOs, right? We need all these people. But I'd rather have people that are part of the community, not because he worked for Budweiser, that's gonna come run the show, right? But if we don't do these things that we're doing, creating schools and creating opportunities, those Budweiser people are gonna come over, and it's our we have to do it. It starts from the bottom and work our way up, you know. And when these dispensaries open up the doors, that's what they're doing. They're giving the shots to us people to grow and continue it with our community. Let's not let the big boys they're gonna get in regardless, but let's control whatever we can control, you know. And I think with people like you just spreading the word or school things like that, we're going to keep it going and keep that momentum going to create our community, which we're trying to do, my man.
Awesome. Love it. Clearly you're very passionate about this plant. You mentioned your wife having some issues and you've been, except for your little stint in the Marines, which thank you for, by the way, that, you know, you've been a passionate cannabis user. What got you to the point where you said we need to create a school?
The stigma behind it, people thinking it's bad, you know, when you see people that heal themselves, get better, they have cancer and it helps them out, you know, why are we saying it's bad? It's not. It's just the way it's looked upon. And I think the only way is to show people that you could do something, become successful. That's why to me the important part is yes, training and yes, learning, but getting employed is the big thing. And I connect people to get them jobs and get them working. Because if you can pay your bills by doing something you love, think about it, right? And all because you've been told since you were a kid, don't do drugs.
Right.
But there, da da da. Yeah, I get it. There's bad drugs out there. Don't get me wrong, you know. And yes, cannabis isn't for everybody. Don't get me wrong. But if you're gonna compare this to any other substance that is legal out there, let's put it toe to toe, and I guarantee you this is gonna win any day. You know, it helps out. You know, it's just how you use it. You know, so yes, man, this is for everybody, bro. It's a plant.
Right.
It's a beautiful plant. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, we just take care of it, brother. That's it, man. So hopefully, you know, it'll become legal federally, and we're gonna be able to do things correctly, because people can't even put their money in their bank account because it's a plant,
Right.
you know, and it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way.
Hey, everybody, I want to quickly mention Food Forest Abundance. Food Forest Abundance is a great way to create your own self sustaining food forest and naturally occurring ecosystem that's commonly found in nature, but designed specifically for you. Through multiple layers of trees, shrubs, herbs, vines, rhizomes, mushrooms, and perennial vegetables, you can become your own supply chain without the typical maintenance required of a garden. From small spaces to large areas, both urban and suburban, Food Forest Abundance wants us to get back to our roots in nature by engaging with our food production in a meaningful way. For more information, click on the link in the description below and start your journey today. Okay, let's get back to today's episode. I agree. We've got a lot of work to do. Unfortunately, our government, as usual, they say, is downstream of culture. So we just need to keep doing what we can, fighting for our rights, and I think eventually we will win out. Hopefully it's a landscape that's in our favor and not some big corporation or politician's pocket or something like that.
Yeah,
But that's why we gotta keep putting pressure on these people.
I agree. I agree. We get the right advocates in the right positions to help us out. You know, it's that old school mentality is great, you know, but some changes need to be made to some of these things, you know. And I think we get the right people in the right position. We vote correctly, listen to these people. There's changes to be made, you know. It's just gonna take a little time.
Sure. When did you guys start the Triumph School of Cannabis?
We've been a little bit over a year now. A little bit
Okay.
over a year now. Yeah, you know, the people in the industry itself, the dispensaries, the cultivators, they love the concept. People love it too, but it's like weird for them. And they, huh? School for cannabis? And the
Mhm.
first thing is they teach you how to smoke, teach you how to roll. No, no, that's not what we teach. You know, it's the actual education. So we have to educate the people out there first. Once they get the information, then they understand. Oh, so this is like a vocational school, like to become like a dental assistant or a medical assistant, but for cannabis. It's exactly what it is. So then they get it, then they like it. So right now the hard part is educating the people. You know, people in the industry, they love it because they get it. The concept, it's done. Yeah. But the people are like, what? There's school for that? And is it legit? Is it for real? So that's the hard part right now is getting people to understand that yes, it's legit. Yes, it's for real. We're getting people jobs. And you know, it's take a little bit of time like everything else. So yes, we're gonna get the momentum going, brother. And eventually it's gonna be great.
Awesome. How many states you guys operating in?
So right now we only focus on California for right now. Each
Okay.
state's a little bit different. Yeah, each state's a little bit different. So right now we focus on California, Southern California to be mostly exact. Uh, the 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 3 or 4 major counties in the LA area, those are the ones we focus in right now. And it's going pretty well. You know, we already got poppers from up north, so now we're considered growing. So little by little, the word's getting out, and we're very, very proud of that.
Any future expansion as far as classes, or you just mentioned something, your internships, are they mostly in dispensaries, or do you have like grow ops that you guys go out to as
Yes,
well?
that's actually a great one. Right now, we're actually working with. We're looking at 2 uh, cultivators out there that are pretty big item. We're trying to see if it's going to work out, make sense for everybody. But that's our next big step is to introduce cultivation because that's the biggest demand. People want to grow and people want to grow either for themselves or work for a big company. You know, they see the greenhouses on Instagram, right? So 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 that's our next big thing is to find the right cultivator to be able to introduce that into our program, because that's going to be a a big one. Everybody wants to really learn that, because after that you could start learning the extraction portion. So it just kind of goes from there, right? So that's our next big thing right now. Our December 3rd class is what we're focusing on right now. That's our fundamentals and budgeting program. But yeah, we have hands-on training with, depending on the program. The only one that doesn't have hands-on training is our cooking, because we actually teach you how to do it right there and then. We tell you what ingredients to bring. We teach you even how to make your own canna butter. We speak about all those other cool things. So we teach you recipes or two. But that's the one that doesn't have like a hands-on. You go to an actual place. You work from home. But other than that, all the other programs do have some type of hands-on internship to it.
Now, these programs, if somebody was to sign up for it, do they have lifetime access to it? Is it a
Mhm.
program? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, once you enroll, you have access to the curriculum. It's yours for you. Once you finish your hours, it's about 16 hours of hands-on training, depending on the program. Once you complete that, plus you pass your final, you get your certification, and yeah.
Now, are there any classes or options for non-California residents?
Not at this moment, because the whole strength of our program is the hands-on approach,
Right.
right? So until I have relationships and build with other dispensaries and other cultivators, so I could definitely pass it down, learn the laws, because each state's a little bit different, right? But yes, that's the future, to be able to be in different states and help everybody out.
Awesome. Now, Gus, I usually have some I like to think they're pretty good questions for some of our guests. Now I'm going to put
Sure.
you on the spot a little. If you need time to think about it, it's okay.
Let's
Uh,
do it.
if somebody named a strain after you, what would it be called?
Motanabe.
Okay. You already knew that one.
I knew that one.
What's the craziest thing you've ever smoked out of?
A 6-foot bog.
Nice. Nice.
Hurt.
When I had to smoke out of a 6-foot bong, I had to stand on someone's bed to reach the top. Was it similar? Were you on like a ladder or
Yeah,
something?
I had to angle it. We had to angle. There's a
Okay.
guy down there. Yeah, we had to angle it, man. And I remember I took a rip, man. After I finished coffee for like an hour, I just fell right asleep. That was it. So 6-footer. That's my
Yeah,
answer.
yeah. Nice. Uh, famous person you've ever smoked with, or like the coolest person you've ever smoked with?
The famous person. You know what? I haven't had the luxury to see like a real famous person. I think the cool person to smoke with was a retired Marine sniper.
Nice.
He gave me some cool stories about what he did as we were high as hell. That was pretty fun, because
Nice.
you just start imagining the stories, right, that he's telling you.
Sure.
So that
Sure.
was that was a cool experience there,
Awesome. That does sound like a cool experience.
bro.
How about the most memorable place you've ever smoked? Joshua
uh,
Tree in the desert, maybe in the mountain somewhere.
so I think one of the coolest moments that I ever spoke with was actually with my wife. We were on a cruise and we headed up. We ended up in Ensenada. So you get out, explore the town a little bit, and we were at La Bufadora. It's like a very touristic place. And some guy, they sell a bunch of stuff as you're walking by. And the guy had a bunch of like zigzags and wraps and a bunch of shit. And I was like, I need the stuff that goes in there, my man. He's like, well, I got that too. I said, well, let's go inside your shop really quick. So we did what we had to do. And now I had the weed, I had the wraps, and I was like, but where are we gonna smoke it? So I'm looking around and asked the guy there, hey, where can I smoke? He's like, oh, you can smoke anywhere here. And I was like, no, it's not cigarettes. He's like, oh, go over there. Just keep going down there. You'll see it. So we take maybe like a 5-minute walk. We were like at the cliffs, brother, by ourselves. Me and my wife, we were just smoking, looking at the view. She took some beautiful pictures. It was nice. We finished our blunt. We got back on the bus, went back on that boat. So that was one of the best moments of me smoking with my wife, bro.
Nice. I like that. Excellent. Well, Gus, I think that's a great way to end it. Great story like that. Uh, thanks for being a great guest today. Please tell everybody where they can find more of the Triumph School of Cannabis.
Absolutely, brother. Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff is Triumph School of Cannabis. You can't find it. You can't miss us. Same thing on website, www.triumphschoolofcannabis.com, brother. So thank you so much. I appreciate being here, my man. You're a great guest. Continue what you're doing. Before you know it, you're going to be bigger than Rogan, baby. Keep it up.
One can wish, right? Well, we appreciate it again for coming on the show today and giving us some of your time. That's it for today. If you like this episode, make sure you go down there and smash the like button for Gus and the Triumph School of Cannabis. Leave a comment with your favorite part of this episode. And make sure you subscribe to Dro TV here on YouTube as well, because otherwise you'd miss great guests and amazing interviews like this one. So thanks again, Gus, to everybody watching.
Appreciate it, brother.
We'll catch you on the next episode. Smoke them if you got them. What's up, Dro TV family? You can now stream the audio version of all these episodes on your favorite podcast player. And if you like more episodes like this, check out this playlist we put together over here for you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to us on YouTube. You don't want to miss more great content from Dro TV. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, smoke them if you got them.